This is Abnormal Entertainment.
There is nothing like watching a movie on the big screen, and with MoviePass, you can see unlimited movies every month from Abnormal Entertainment. Head to abnormalentertainment.com and click on the MoviePass banner to get your first month free. And after that, it's only $30 a month to see unlimited movies, even on opening day. Go as many times as you want. Have a blast with MoviePass and abnormalentertainment.com. Welcome, everybody, to the Cinema Head Cheese Podshort for a collection of Netflix comedy specials. This is Kevin Moyers, and, I realized I might not have said my name on the last show I recorded. Did one for Schitt's Creek, and, I don't know if I said anything. Anyway, you know it's me. Hi. How you doing? Now, last time I did one of these for some stand-up stuff was for Neil Brennan and Tom Papa, and I said it then, and I'll say it again. I'm not going to do any of these for stand-up if it's something I didn't enjoy. So I'm only going to recommend things to you when it comes to stand-up because it's such a subjective thing. I don't like shitting on comedians necessarily, and I mean there have been specials on Netflix that I don't like, and I'm not really going to bring those up. So, one that I really just, first couple minutes in, I was just like, this is one of the worst things I've ever seen, and had to turn it off. There are some bad ones on there, in my opinion. But there are also some really great ones, and that's what I'm going to share with you. There's no point in dumping on anybody in that way. Yeah, it's fine to do if you want to review things. Honestly, that's fine. I'm okay with that. It's just not what I'm gonna do when it comes to the negative things. I don't want to bother you with that because it is subjective. There are people that are gonna like those things, but I'm gonna tell you something that I like. So, plain and simple. Here we go. I'm gonna go through 3, technically 4, but things you should watch that I thought were really great. First one. Came out in January, I believe, the beginning of January, and it's Bill Burr, yet another Netflix comedy special called Walk Your Way Out. I almost feel like this should be a given at this point. Oh, Bill Burr comedy special? It's great. I knew that before I watched it. Let's face it. And, of course, I did watch it more than once and just couldn't get enough of it. He films it down in... it was Nashville, I think. Wears a cowboy shirt, talks about that. Gets into, weight issues, and this was filmed before the election, so he talks about both candidates. Really, really just great stuff. And Burr pops one out every year or two, and they're just great. They're just all great. Anything from Bill Burr, you can watch it and enjoy it. If you like one, you're going to like them all. But Walk Your Way Out is just another stellar accomplishment in his canon here. Another one that came out recently, and see, I say this, but who knows when you guys are listening to this. That's the beauty of podcasting. I'll listen to stuff, 2 weeks after it came out because I get backlogged, and you never know what's happened time-wise. But anyway, it came out in March of 2017. You could be listening to this 2 years from now, right? Whatever. But anyway, it's called Mouthful of Shame. I like Jim Norton. I like his honesty. He's a little freaky for some people, especially when he talks about his sexuality and his fetishes and his attraction to trans women or his gay experiences as a kid, things like that. it's uncomfortable to a degree, and that's understandable. I don't mind it. It's interesting and entertaining. It's kind of become his thing, in the way that like Doug Benson's just weed, all the time, But there's an honesty to it that's nice and that I appreciate. This special does go into some of that stuff, as he generally does, but he also has some interesting crowd work that's really funny. Gets into a bunch of different things. We mentioned on an episode of Masterpiece Theater a little bit back, a few weeks back, that he does when somebody says, "Do I know you from somewhere?" His response is amazing, and I honestly wish I had the balls to do that to somebody, or to say that to somebody, and I don't know that I do. I'll be honest with you, I don't know that I do, but it's hilarious. And I have to say, to date, this is Norton's best special. It's really great. Enjoyable start to finish. And just like, I think some of it has to do with he's gotten so comfortable talking about certain things. He's just, it's, like any good comedy special, like I mentioned with Tom Papa, like he just gets up there and tells you about shit. Like, hey, this happened. Here's the thing. And it's not, it doesn't feel like jokes. It just feels like he's grabbed the mic and decided to tell you some stuff. And I love that. It's so great. So, when it doesn't feel like material, that's magic. That's poetry right there. That's when you just hit your comfort and your stride in that way, and it's wonderful. So, Mouthful of Shame from Jim Norton, that's another one to watch. Then, big one came out in March. This is something people have been waiting for over a decade. Dave Chappelle makes his return with 2 specials, and it's called the Chappelle Collection. But first one in there is Art of Spin, and the second is Deep in the Heart of Texas. I've watched them both twice already. There are things I can differentiate from one to the other, but I have to think about it, because they do kind of, when you watch them back-to-back like that, they will blend a little bit. Funny thing is, he filmed Age of Spin in 2016, and Deep in the Heart of Texas, I guess, in 2015. But in Age of Spin, he does talk about things like taking his son to go see Kevin Hart, and his jealousy there, and dealing with that. And he doesn't shit on Kevin Hart. He does it in a loving way, which is great, because they're friends. And then Deep in the Heart of Texas, he talks about, being called names and having, he and his sister dealing with that together, or talks about a foot fetish, talks about his wife a lot, which is a first. You didn't really hear much about it, but they've been together a very long time. One of the funniest was them going to the last Pacquiao-Mayweather fight, and he's like, that was a very quiet car ride home, because she's Filipino, and Pacquiao is, like a symbol to the Philippines. So it's pretty funny. Even though both fighters have a very upsetting history. So, but just everything in it reminds me of kind of his first special, which was Killing Them Softly. Just, it's him being silly, but he's older now, and it's different in tone in that way. Like, his age comes through. He's in his 40s now, and we're close in age, within a couple years of each other, I guess. So I relate to him with certain things he talks about in that way, and it's nice. He feels like he's himself, and he tells a lot of stories and shit like that. And then he still, one thing that always cracked me up about him, when he laughs and he just kind of drops the microphone to his leg. He does this kind of like lean over thing, and he starts cracking up. He does that throughout, and it's just him, and it's really good to have 2 hours like that. I didn't realize they were filmed almost a year apart. that explains why he can have just 2 tight hours the way he has. So, but it's so much fun and so worth watching. Again, I watched him twice in about a 3-day period. I couldn't get enough of it. I was just happy the whole time through. Like, Chappelle is back, and he doesn't address the him leaving Chappelle's show and all that a lot. That's old news at this point. So if he had dwelled on that too much, it would have been kind of pointless. But the things that stand out in the Age of Spin, he also tells 4 stories about meeting OJ. He does do a nice little tribute to a comedy legend and a hip hop legend that both passed. I thought that was really cool of him to do that. In like a little encore, he came back and brought them both up. Thought that was sweet of him to do that. But yeah, it's just great stuff. And if you love Chappelle, this is what you've been waiting for. A lot of criticism like about homophobia and transphobia and stuff like that. It's not that at all. You really just need to watch it, and it's just comedy. And he's being funny, and he's not hurting anybody. He's not being hurtful. There's this whole idea of you have to punch up in comedy, and it's so fucking stupid. Like, you can only take shots at people above you, or people, like people above us, the people. Like, no, you can take shots at anybody. It doesn't matter. There are no fucking... I hate when people try to put rules on shit. Well, you have to do... No, you don't have to fucking do anything. According to who? Go fuck yourself. Honestly. I'm disappointed Chappelle was punching down. That's bullshit, and it needs to stop. It's comedy. They're jokes, people. You can make fun of anybody. I mean, in Killing Him Softly, he did a whole thing about a baby selling crack. Who's that punching at? That's punching down, wouldn't you say? Punching down at people that live in the ghetto, in projects and shit like that, in drug-fueled neighborhoods. I mean, if I made fun of a trailer park, people do it all the time. That's punching down. Ugh, drives me nuts. Just watch it and enjoy it for what it is. It's comedy. It's funny. And if you missed Chappelle, you got him now. Appreciate it. It's great stuff. It's so fun and exactly what I've been waiting for all these years. So, you need some stand-up. And you've already watched 3 Mics. You've already watched Human Mule that I recommended before. Great. If not, get on those 2. Human Mule's on Hulu. It was on Epix, but it's on all the Epix stuff goes on Hulu, and it's also on Amazon. Watch those. I listened to it on Spotify, and I'm sure you can get most of this stuff on Spotify. All the Bill Burr stuff ends up there too. I'm sure Pandora too. They do a lot of comedy, so you have. That's the great thing with stand-up. You can go to the music streaming as well, not just video, because if it's good, it works either way. So check that out. But walk your way out. Bill Burr, Mouthful of Shame from Jim Norton, and the Chappelle Collection from Dave Chappelle, which is The Age of Spin and Deep in the Heart of Texas. All 4 great hours, and you need to watch them. If you love comedy, you need to watch them. It's the best stuff from all 3 of those guys so far. Really is. And, standout stuff. So, stand out, stand up. So go do that. And check out all the... There's so much great stand-up on there. Tom Segura, Joe Rogan's recent one, Triggered. His best to date, honestly. And I haven't talked about that one yet. So, and there's more coming. They're just rolling them out, which is great. Because I remember the days of Comedy Central just popping out those half hours. And I miss that. So I'm sure they still do it. I just don't have cable. I haven't had cable in eons. So... And you can't watch that shit on the Comedy Central app unless you have the cable channel. It's like, well, what the fuck is the point of getting a Roku app if I already have anyway, that's cable stations need to figure that out. So, yeah. Anyway, that's why Netflix is ruling the world right now, as they should. So, check all those out. Head to abnormalentertainment.com. Check out all of our shows. We have so many great things for you to listen to. New things like K-Fabe with Frankie G, who was on the Logan podcast that we did. Also, Iron Fist. You heard Frank on both of those. Frank was very amused sitting next to me when we went to see Logan. It was the first time we hung out outside of podcasting, and he was entertained by my reaction through the whole theater, or through the whole movie. So it's just me. Anyhow, so do go and participate in all of that. Listen to his new show if you're into wrestling. He had Mandy and Mass Blogster on his first episode, and I'm sure they'll do a breakdown of WrestleMania and all the other big events that come through WWE and other Lucha Underground, things like that. That's a fun one, by the way. I haven't watched wrestling in years, but Lucha Underground, also on Netflix now. So fun. So fun. Like, made me just entertained to watch wrestling again. So, yeah. I don't know. Side recommendation. There you go. But check that out. We're going to post up the final 3 ESS podcasts. They haven't had any in a while. I like those guys so much, I decided to end the show. And their hosting is done and over with. They have not continued their Libsyn subscription, which is where they hosted it. And where we host our shows now. We moved everything there. It's time to join the big boys. But I'm going to host their final 3 at abnormalentertainment.com. So we're happy to do that. They were great. I mean, they were with us for about a third of their run, their last third, and they've decided to hang it up. So their farewell episodes will be up with us soon, and I'm looking forward to that. Also, Demand the Cure is a newer show. Check that out. And we have so much stuff, so much great stuff. So abnormalentertainment.com for that. cinemaheadcheese.com for all of the reviews and new articles. Dave Hayes has done a whole series of fan films, which is something I've never thought about before. Like, oh, this is what we should be doing. Hadn't thought about it until he hit that. There's so much great fan stuff out there, and like well-known fan stuff. So, yeah, something you need to check out. They're very popular articles, and Dave's going to keep working through those. He's done a ton already, so check all that out. And I've rambled enough, so thank you for tuning in. Always appreciate it. We will see you next time. I'm hoping to do a Power Rangers review with my daughter, because we enjoyed the hell out of that. So anyway, and I like to get the kid on here and have some fun with her. It's always a good time, For me, I've had some listeners that enjoy it, which is great. But anyway, a lot of new stuff coming. We're working on more and more and more, and we're just building this thing. I'm in full-on crazy-ass build mode, and I think Dave and Jeff are working on a little idea that I threw their way, and I'm hoping that they do it as a little, series of pod shorts right here on Head Cheese as well. So it'll be fun. It's a good concept, and I think they're the two people. Some of the movie conversations I've listened to with them, when the three of us are, we're sitting in Dave's backyard having drinks late at night and cracking each other up. They get into these deep conversations about this obscure stuff that I know nothing about, and I've learned so much about obscure movies because of them. For them to do this website makes sense. For me, my take, my angle, my direction, my history with movies and TV, and I'm more in the comedy realm. They go into the cult and the horror and stuff like that. So we have different directions we've come from there. Those two from the same direction, I promise you, and me from somewhere else, and different sensibility. So it's always interesting to listen to them, and I think we're going to get more done. So good stuff. Looking forward to it. And I really appreciate you guys. And if you want to donate to us, you can always go through our sponsors. We appreciate that. That helps us. And if you want to donate, there is a support us page on every one of our show sites. So if you go to abnormalentertainment.com, it doesn't matter which one you're going through, and you tell me which shows you like, I will make sure those shows get part of the donation, because they deserve it. Everybody works hard, and we appreciate your support. And we need your support. We really do. So as we work on bigger things, we will be looking to fund them. and including a movie we're filming this fall. So, just great stuff all around, and we appreciate you guys. You've been with us for years, and it just keeps getting better. So share it, like it, whatever you can do. Whatever you can do to back us. If it's tiny, if it's telling your friends, anything, we appreciate all of it. You guys are wonderful, and thank you so much. This is my favorite thing. So, has been for years. I'm enjoying the hell out of it. But, yeah. Anyway, Power Rangers should be our next one. We'll give our thoughts from a 40-year-old man who didn't like the TV show and an 8-year-old girl who never saw it. And we both, I'll just say right now, we both enjoyed the movie. So, that's that. And we'll see you next time. Thanks. Subscribe and download back episodes of Cinema Head Cheese the podcast, and read all of our movie reviews and news at cinemaheadcheese.com. Email us at cinemaheadcheese@yahoo.com. Search Cinema Head Cheese on Facebook and tweet us at CINHeadCheese. And for more podcasts, books, comics, blogs, and videos, head to abnormalentertainment.com.
You've been listening to the Abnormal Entertainment Network.
Don't have time to grocery shop? Let Shipt do it for you. Shipt lets you put in your order and brings your groceries to your door in as little as an hour. All you have to do is sign up at shipt.com and enter the membership code ABNORMAL, and you'll get $10 in free groceries on your first order. Save time, get what you need, and leave the shopping to Shipt.